You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, good morning. This is the Coach's Corner here on KYNT, coming to you live from 1019 Broadway Avenue in Yankton. Thanks for joining us here this morning. The Coach's Corner Show, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Yankton Gazelles and Bucks basketball last night. Yankton Gazelles fell to Mitchell 54-35, and the Bucks fell to Mitchell 41-33. The main story of those two games was really good first half for both teams. Bucks had really good three quarters. The Gazelles had a rough third quarter that kind of put the game away for them versus Mitchell, but two great first halves of basketball at the Summit Activity Center last night, and you can tell that the teams are really starting to gel, and I'm looking forward to the latter half of the season to see what these two teams can do out on the hardwood. And when we come back from our first break and join us on the Pizza Ranch phone line will be Coach Blake Savvy. That is around the corner here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
If you want a job where your work matters, you belong at Avera. Here, we've invested in our workforce because every Avera team member drives our health ministry forward, making a difference in lives and communities every day. We offer competitive pay, great health insurance, and even career opportunities. We're putting people first, including you. Search for local job openings and apply at avera.org/careers.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
Life insurance isn't about you, it's about them. This is Rhonda Westland, State Farm Agent in Yankton. Your family knows they can count on you to provide for them, and that's one of the best feelings in the world. Making sure they're financially provided for is what life insurance is all about. So call me, Rhonda Westland, State Farm Agent in Yankton today, 605-665-4411. Your family and their needs are unique, so I'll work with you one-on-one, and together we'll personalize life insurance protection to meet those needs and your budget. Your family trusts you, you can trust State Farm.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner, and joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Yankton Gazelles head coach, Coach Blake Savvy. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hey, so last night a A pretty good game for the Gazelles. One of the best first halves, or just halves of basketball I've seen. I talked to Coach Jill Muth during our post-game interview at halftime of the boys' game, and she mentioned the same thing, that very impressed with the Gazelles, especially in that first half. So talk about that first of all, and then what adjustments that you saw Mitchell make that kind of turned the tide for them entering the second half.
Yeah, no, I think that is we came out with a phenomenal effort, and just seeing a lead on the scoreboard was great for our girls, and their effort and just the speed in which they played in the first half was phenomenal. And I thought that we were sharing the ball really well. We looked really organized, whether it was in sets or just kind of moving it and making plays off of each other. Give Mitchell credit; they went to a 2-3 zone late in the second half, and then late in the first half and into the second half, and we just started to struggle a little bit getting it to the middle of the zone. We didn't do as well as we would like. And then, as our legs got tired, shots just kind of had trouble falling, and theirs kept falling. So, again, they get a lot of credit for knocking down some shots in the second half that they weren't hitting in the first half. But, again, tremendous effort from our girls, and we talked in the locker room. We know that it does. They're getting frustrated with just 2 good quarters as well, and just seeing the bigger picture of what it takes to put together a complete game.
Well, you had 5 different Gazelles score, which is also a positive. The ball is being spread out a little bit more. Good passing on the perimeter. I really liked what I saw last night from Berkeley Olsen. 5 points and drove the lane a couple times and seemed to be gaining a little bit of confidence herself.
Yeah, I think when you look at the stat sheet, there's 3 different girls with 5 points, and then a couple others with more than that, with Eden in September. And when you start to get that, that's when we really can be the team that we hope to be, just with that spread on, in scoring, because that opens up more girls. And so they did a nice job. We got some post touches that I think we've been missing in the first 6-7 games, and overall the ball was moving well, and we were finding good shots, and just gotta put them in.
Kelson Wells, the same thing goes for her. Pretty good night last night. She's really seems to have a nice step in the paint. When the conditions are right, she can really make a nice post move.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times it ends up being posts defending her, so that's a mismatch that we've got in a lot of games. And I think the more confidence that she displays in just attacking and finding her way into the paint, the more good things are going to happen for us, whether it's her finishing, drawing a foul, or kicking it out to one of our guards. So, yeah, I think her and Berkeley have both showed a lot of confidence growth in these first 6-7 games, just with their attack and finding their shot a little bit more.
All right, we'll wrap up the varsity talk with you have a week coming up. This is going to be one of the longer stretches in the second half of the season that you don't have a game, so you can get like 4 consecutive practices in or whatever it would be.
Right.
But Watertown next week, what is the main focus of the Gazelles going into this week of practice?
I think it's just really back to basics a little bit, getting back to making sure that we continue to be who we want to be, especially on the defensive end, pressuring the ball, making sure we're in position. I think our communication can still grow quite a bit. But we're going to get them, Monday we'll get them a little workout with Coach Rosie, and then we'll just get a bunch of shots up, and then really attack those basics for a couple days there the rest of the week.
All right, beautiful. And I don't know if you have all the stats from last night in front of you, but let's talk really quick about the JV matchup. Obviously, the Gazelles struggled against the Mitchell JV, 48-14. But this Mitchell program also they seem to have a lot of girls in the pipeline as well. But a good fight from the Gazelles.
Yeah, I think their JV did a really good job pressuring the perimeter and making entry passes tough, and so that just kind of exposed, I think, some areas where we need to be a little more fundamentally sound, just passing along the perimeter, back cutting when those pressure, teams get after you a little bit. And our JV also showed some stretches where they would fight back and get it back to a 14-point game or so. And then they just went on quite a few different runs that eventually let the scoreboard, get a pretty big margin.
Were you able to catch any of the freshman game at all?
I watched a little bit of it. I was, we're getting ready for the varsity during that. Sure. But every time I came out, it was a tight scoreboard, and loved the way that, that's a lot of 8th graders out there in that game. And a few of our freshmen and sophomores, and they just, I love the way that they fight in that game. Each game that we've watched them since the 8th graders have come up, and they play with great speed. Their 8th graders have really good teamwork, and I thought that Brenna Chuka it was a huge game for her. Seeing her
9 points for her.
Threes. Yeah, and so just her seeing that confidence and just start knocking down some shots. Awesome game for her. And then Isabel Sheldon to also knock in 8 points. And then Lucy, I think, bounced back from, again, that tough JV game. And she stepped up and had a good game for the C team as well.
Yeah, and then also for the C team, Kudera with 9 points as well. Seemed like the ball really spread really well with the C team.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where they just have good basketball IQ. I think Jordan Kudera has done a great job. Even if we look back at the last 3 games, she is a good passer. She can handle the ball well and does it with confidence. And then she knocks down shots. If you give her an opening, she's going to hit them. So, she's played a great game. And, really, really happy with what we see at that level and just the way that they compete with each other.
The Gazelles signed some autographs for some younger kids last night. How special was that for them? And especially, do you see a lot of smiles from the young ones?
Yeah, I think that was huge for us. And just to remind the girls, as the scoreboard maybe, definitely hasn't been where we want it to be. But I think that it's just that in-person reminder what it's all about. And just seeing the line build with just the young Bucks and Gazelles waiting to get a poster, get their autograph. And those young ones didn't care at all what the scoreboard showed a little bit earlier. They were jacked to see the varsity Gazelles get their autograph and just meet them. And so that's just such a cool moment for our girls to be able to just see the young kids that they're impacting each and every night that they take the court, and really get to kind of see that up close and personal.
Well, you love to see you, Coach, and I appreciate you joining us here this morning on the Coach's Corner and joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll talk to you later in the week.
Absolutely. You as well.
That was Coach Blake Savvy. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Don't just bank, be an explorer. Here at Explorers Credit Union, we do banking differently. As a not-for-profit, member-owned credit union, we know that financial wellness isn't a destination, it's a journey. We're here to help you set goals and reach them with the financial tools, expertise, and support you need. If you're looking for better rates on your loans and local service from your friends and neighbors, Explorers Credit Union has you covered. Learn how we can help your financial journey at explorerscu.com.
Have a graduating senior in May? Well, it'll be here before you know it. Set up your rooms now for out-of-town guests at the Fairfield by Marriott or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton. The Fairfield offers a comfortable, relaxing stay in modern rooms, and ask about their gathering room for graduation parties. The Holiday Inn Express features large family rooms, hot breakfast, and free happy hour. Get a great rate and flexible reservation changes by calling the Fairfield or Holiday Inn Express in Yankton direct.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT and RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. Visit mtrcsmithinsurance.com.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
Moving is hard work. This is Deb Speck from Vision Real Estate, and I'd like to show you how I can make moving a little easier. From staging your home, providing moving boxes, and the use of our enclosed courtesy trailer, to the behind-the-scenes marketing, attention to detail, you can rest easy knowing you have an experienced professional working for you. Call me, Deb Speck, at 605-664-5555.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner show. Good morning. Coming to you live from 1019 Broadway Avenue in Yankton. The Yankton Bucks fell last night, 41-33 to Mitchell. And a very good first half and into the third quarter for the Bucks. Just couldn't quite hold on. I mean, Mitchell is the defending Class AA state champion. And they are a very good team. They showed last night why that is. Your final stats from last night's game: Carson Ness led the way with 10 points. 6 points for Owen Eidsness, and 2 points for Bryce Kroll, 8 points for Beck Reichen, 4 for Miles Drotzman, and 1 for Cohen Zarbach, and 2 for Austin Conway. And have the post-game interview with Coach Chris Haynes from last night. I'll play for you, and then we'll go over some sub-varsity scores and lead scores from Yankton Bucks basketball last night.
Coach, thanks for joining us. Obviously, a solid game when you look at the grand scheme of things. Yankton was in 1 point of every quarter. We were breaking those down, except for the third, outscored 14-9. I guess open it up with your opening thoughts, but also what adjustments did Mitchell make coming into the second half?
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team. Obviously, defending state champs, and I thought Carson Ness did a really good job on tally tonight. And obviously, we had some guys helping in the gaps and stuff on him. And then Hinker was the other focal point down low. He's just a load down there, and really been scoring. But then the problem is they have a third player. Colton Smith is really good too, and he kind of got away from us there, especially in in the second half, and they started going to him on the block. And they're just hard to guard, all three of those guys. And our guys battled, and proud of their effort again. And the way they competed, just weren't able to make enough plays on the other end to kind of stay there. Because I thought if we could have just hung around for a couple more minutes, I think it was still dead even with like 4 minutes to go, maybe even 3 minutes to go, one possession game. And then they made a couple baskets. If we could have just held serve just a couple times, and made it go down the wire and give ourselves a chance at the end. But we just weren't able to do that.
Carson Ness has led scoring most of the games. I think maybe all the games so far this season, actually except for one. But Mitchell knew that too. So you have other guys stepping up tonight, and they've stepped up before, but tonight they really stood out to me. Owen Eisness, Beck Reichen, and Michael Drossman had a lot of hustle plays.
Yeah, those guys are coming along nicely and doing some nice things for us. I thought Drotz did a really good job of being aggressive. And that's the thing. Those guys are getting more playing time because they're being aggressive. Drotz is trying to get to the basket. Owen's trying to do things out there and make plays, and that's what we need. We need some more guys to step up and start being aggressive and start making some positive plays for us.
Back-to-back games, probably the same kind of answer, but Austin Conway maybe didn't light up the scoring sheet, but also just you can always depend on him to be fighting in the paint.
Yeah, he's a big, strong kid, and he works really hard. He's a competitor, and he had his hands full tonight. Hinker's a senior, and got a few inches on him, and maybe even a few pounds.
Hinker's not a small person.
No, not at all. And Bryce did good too. Both those guys did good on Hinker when they were on him. And obviously, same with Talley. And Hinker and Smith, you're not going to guard those guys one-on-one. And the other guys did a nice job of helping inside and seeing, what was going on and trying to understand where those guys were at and trying to take something away from them. And for the most part, we did that. I mean, we had them at 39. Until we had to foul at the end. And
how many times have you seen Marcus Talley, maybe not against the Bucks necessarily, but against any team dropping 30? It happens all the time.
Yeah. I mean, any one of those three can get 30 on their own, and they all probably have at some point already this year. I don't even know. But again, we had them at 39, and had the game exactly the tempo and pace that we wanted it against these guys. And unfortunately, again, but they're a good defense, and they're hard to score against too, right? And so they don't give you much. Second chance opportunities because they're so good on the defensive glass. But we were scrappy and we got a few opportunities. But unfortunately, we just didn't execute offensively well enough to win the basketball game.
I'm going to use this tomorrow morning on the coaches' corner, so I'm going to ask you about the little bit of the sophomore game. I know you're watching the end of that. Very tight game for them as well.
Yeah, all the younger level games were really close games. So I know they got some younger players that are really good. A big freshman kid that was a handful for our younger levels to kind of guard, but our guys did good. We're seeing some good things in the JV and sophomore games. I don't get it over in the other gym to see the freshmen much, but Coach Schmidt said they had a good night as well. We've had some illness run through, especially our younger levels, and even a couple of our varsity guys, but especially our younger levels.
The annual tradition.
Yeah, it's going to happen once a year, right? South Dakota in the winter, a winter sport. It seems like it goes through us, but hopefully we got the weekend off now. Hopefully we come back Monday and, everyone's feeling better. And because the other thing, Bryce, is we got a stretch finally of 4 practices in a row. And we haven't had that until the first 2 weeks of the season, with weather and Christmas break and games in there. So we're going to need to take advantage of next week.
What is the top of the list for the Yankton Bucks for this week of practice? Because you have Watertown, as you mentioned, next week.
Yeah, just continue to improve. Especially we're going to have to continue to find some scoring somewhere, and get better. I don't think it's not. We don't need to change anything of what we're doing or anything like that. We just got to execute it a little bit better, and have some guys get some confidence and start making some plays and making some shots. We got to continue to. You can always work on things, defensively and rebounding and fundamentals. We got to shore some things up there, no doubt. But then just hopefully having 4 days, 2-3 really good days where we can just focus 100% on ourselves, and then obviously throw in a few things for our opponent as the week goes along.
All right, very last thing. You guys, players signed some autographs and stuff for the younger kids. How special was that for them, and especially those kids? They look up to them.
Yeah, that was nice. I got to give Coach Blake Savvy all the credit on that. We've kicked that around for years and just never followed through with it and done it. It takes work. And so Coach Blake Savvy had that in his back pocket. And
do the guys even know how to sign anymore? I don't know.
Yeah. Little Connor, our little guy, has one, and a couple of them have signatures. A couple of them just print. So it was a nice deal, and I'm glad we did it. And like I said, I got to give credit to Coach Blake Savvy on that one.
Thanks to Coach Chris Haynes for joining us in the post game from last night's game versus Mitchell. And I do have some, I believe, have some sub-varsity scores and some lead scores from last night. In the 9B game, Yankton won 42-39. Jackson Reichen led the way with 16 points. Brady Ness with 12. In the 9A game, it was a 39-32 loss for the Bucks. Sawyer Maibaum with 9 points, Will Sager with 9, Abe Hansen with 9. Sophomore game was a tight one, 41-40 loss. Easton Skellhouse led with 10 points, Jackson Cooter with 9. JV game, tight loss. Yankton lost 64-59. Tegan LaCroix led the way with 14 points. Miles Johnson had 12. Austin Conway had 11. We'll take a break, come back on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
Yankton Medical Clinic Convenient Care is here for you 7 days a week. No appointment needed. Open until 8 p.m. weekdays and 12 to 4 p.m. on weekends. They're ready for after-hour injuries and illnesses. Wake up feeling sick? Don't wait. Call or self-schedule online for same-day acute care appointments. The physicians and staff wish you a happy, healthy new year, and thank you for your continued trust. Yankton Medical Clinic provides so much care, so close to home.
A few days ago, a college student stopped by the UPS store to print out her research paper. As she waited, she noticed our promotional flyers and asked if we print posters for school events. Yes, we can. Hi, this is Doug at the UPS store, where for over 8 years we've been supporting the community with all their printing needs. Whether it's posters, flyers, or academic papers, we can do it. Stop by and see how we can help with your printing needs. And don't forget to ask about our shipping services or print specials.
Something big is happening at Hy-Vee. We've just lowered thousands and thousands of prices on thousands and thousands of items in every aisle and in every department. Online, too. And on many of your favorite products, we've even matched prices with some of the biggest discount stores in the country. Because we get it, times are still tough. So we'll continue to work hard to bring you new lower prices on thousands of items. Things are looking different at Hy-Vee. Come see for yourself.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, and I did not catch up with Coach Robert Coyle of Yankton Wrestling. Usually I had to say, our schedules couldn't align. No, it's just my fault. I have sick kiddo at home the day I'm supposed to record for him, and just couldn't get it done. Sorry. But I do have some notes from him. He sent this to me yesterday. He says both teams went, this from Thursday, both teams went 1-1, beating Mitchell and losing to Harrisburg. The girls lost to Harrisburg 42-22. Girls beat Mitchell 39-18. Their dual record is now 9-2. And the boys lost to Harrisburg 53-21 and undefeated Mitchell 58-21. Their dual record is now 7-8 on the season. The boys varsity will travel to Brandon Invite tomorrow, meaning today, the Saturday. And the boys JV will travel to Madison Saturday for an invite. The girls are off this weekend. Other notes would be that we're wrestling Bonham and Scotland on Tuesday, January 14th. We're doing an all-out top-to-bottom middle school duel 4:30 p.m., youth duel at 5:30 p.m., JV duel at 6:30 p.m., and senior recognition night before the varsity duels at 7:30 for the boys and girls. And then so Yankton varsity wrestlers will also be signing autographs and posters after the duel. That was from Coach Robert Coyle, Yankton Wrestling. Appreciate him giving us those notes. Turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics, and KYNT Assistant Sports Director Braden Butler was able to catch up with Coach Justin Olson. Again, was home with the sick kiddo. So he was able to catch up with Coach Justin Olson yesterday, as Coach Olson right now is busy with competition. And so thanks to Braden Butler for catching up with Coach Olson. Here's that conversation.
Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me is Justin Olson, the head coach for Yankton High School Gymnastics. Coach, you had a meet earlier this week, which ended your holiday break, so it was probably good for you and your team to get back out there and get on the mats and get in the competitions with this bars, beam, whatever, depending on who's competing. But before we get into that competition in Madison earlier this week, how are you doing today?
We're doing well. We're just getting ready to compete, and the Brookings invite. The Patty Jorgensen invite, actually it's called. So we're just gearing up for that. So doing okay so far.
Yeah, that Brookings invite, that is, as this is being played, coming up in just about an hour from when this is being played. Maybe even as we're talking here is when that is starting up in Brookings. But looking back to Madison, the Triangular earlier this week, you guys finished second in that. 129.6 points as a team, I have in my notes, and then also the top spot in the all-around competition with Berkeley Olson and other couple athletes performed very well. Emma Goebel, Avery Portillo, and Ellie Drotzman as well. So talk a little bit about that meet, that Triangular up in Madison earlier this week.
Yeah, so Madison is a perennial powerhouse, in the Class A ranks. They set records for state titles in a row, winning state titles in a row. So it's always a fun meet to go up to. Competition can be good. And then Huron, of course, is they're a younger team, but they have a lot of girls out, which was fun to see, keeping the sport of gymnastics, alive and well, of course, in South Dakota. So we know that we had some formidable opponents, and we really wanted to come out a break, into the 130s, mid 130s. And I've had different results coming out of the break. We've had, that very next meet coming out, just great, some ups and downs, on some different days, different years. And then this year, we kind of had some up and downs as well, coming out of the break. But, with that said, there was a lot of positives as well. The one thing that really kind of caught us too, which has been our Achilles heel, has been on the beam. We didn't stick very many routines on the beam, so therefore, when you take for your fourth score, a couple sevens in there, that's going to lower your team score. And so we just got to look to improve on beam going forward. So that's why we're looking forward to today, just to really kind of, get out and focus on beam and stay on beam, because that kind of will dictate kind of how we do throughout the rest of the year as well. Our bars came along, our bars are coming along, which was our other kind of a weak point. So if we can get those things moving forward, we're going to be looking to do all right. And as far as the meet went, you mentioned that Berkeley Olson was our all-around champion, and that was fun to see, because she's playing basketball as well on the varsity team, and then coming over, doing some training outside of hours, and then having her compete at the level that she is. It's pretty remarkable to see, and so that's kind of it's one of those things where you just got to sit back and just kind of smile and be happy for her. And so along with that, though, Avery Portillo turned in a 9.3, which placed her onto the all-time top 10 floor scores, putting her up into ninth position. And so, we had a lot of good things going on. And like you mentioned, Emma Goebel, had a couple season bests, one on beam especially. So we're keeping the foot on the gas in some areas, and we got to clean some things up. But, one thing I'd like to mention too is that our JV team is keeping the varsity on their heels too. There's some girls that are pushing for some varsity events, and a gal like Addie Lamphere had a personal best on floor, and then she had a pretty nice vault, so she's pushing for some time there. That's one that stands out. And Avery Brinkman as well. She's one of those kids that is looking to continue to improve throughout the year, and so we have some depth there, which is nice. I mean, you want the depth in gymnastics. You don't have to have all these girls do all around all the time. And maybe give them a break during the meet, take an event off, and get someone else in there to compete. So even though we didn't come out on top at the Madison Triangular, we placed second with a 129, which isn't bad. But we are looking to score in the mid 130s, yet, and we get another chance, here with some really good teams at the Patty Jorgensen invite.
And obviously your invite today in Brookings, it starts a busy week for you guys. I believe this is the 5th competition you guys have had since the start of December, according to the schedule. And now you got 3 in the next week. Obviously the Patty Jorgensen today in Brookings. You got a home triangular on Tuesday, so you don't got to travel too far for that one. And then on the road in Huron on Friday. So how are you guys preparing for that week as you mentioned, are coming off the break? You got that first meet under your belt on Tuesday.
So it's a juggling act, between making sure that the athletes are okay, physically and mentally. When you have those like 3 meets within 6 days, you got to kind of find a balance there. So I plan to give them a total day off. We call it a Kit Kat day, the old commercial, give me a break. That's kind of our little thing there at the gym. So we're going to give them a Kit Kat day there to kind of break it up. But then, it's still one of those things where we just got to get out and perform. We have a home meet, on the 14th there that we're bringing in Madison and Brookings, 2 of the top teams in the state. So that's going to be a fun meet there at the River City Gymnastics Center. And then, we're going to go out to Huron, which is also a fun meet where we get to see Watertown and Brookings is there as well. And then we also get to see Mitchell. So there's going to be a lot of great teams there. So the competition is going to lessen, but that gives us a great a benchmark and to kind of see where we're at. And our girls are up for the challenge, so we're excited about it.
Not in terms of total meets, but in terms of time of the season, this is kind of the midway point. You got ESD in less than a month, almost exactly a month out from state. So it's a good opportunity for you and your team to, as you mentioned, get a benchmark against some very, very good gymnastics programs here this coming week, starting today up in Brookings.
Yeah, it's like drinking through a paper straw, you get going here in January, all of a sudden, before you blink, before you know it, you get done with drinking the straw, it's gone. So it's going to go fast. It's going to go real fast. And like you mentioned, we host that ESD meet. So that will be another thing that's going to be exciting to bring into town and for the community. And so then after that meet, Braden, we're talking about state qualifier and then state meet. And then our season's over. So we have a lot of work to do. But like I said, we're up for the challenge. We're going to do it the Gazelle way. And hopefully that's peak right where we need to peak and move forward. And hopefully that puts us in a good spot when it comes to the state meet.
Well, Coach, I wish you luck down the stretch here and obviously today as well up in Brookings. And I'd like to thank you for taking some time to talk to us here for the Coach's Corner. And hopefully we'll hear some more next week, hear about some good performances this week and a busy schedule for the Gazelles.
You bet, Brandon. I appreciate all you guys do for us. So you take care.
Thanks to Braden and to Coach Justin Olson for having that conversation for the Coach's Corner. Always appreciate that. We'll take a break, come back, and wrap things up here this morning in Yankton. This is the Coach's Corner.
Winters in the Midwest can be brutal, and severe weather can affect the operation of your garage door. Don't leave your vehicle out in the cold. Rely on Upper Midwest Garage Door for all of your winter garage door needs. They provide routine maintenance, service and repair, installation and tune-ups, and replacement if necessary. They even offer 24/7 emergency service. The main focus at Upper Midwest Garage Door is your satisfaction. They'll make sure your doors always go up, so they never let you down. Visit UpperMidwestGarageDoor.com, your authorized Clopay dealer.
Are you a business owner looking to offer your employees some benefits? We can help. Missouri River Associates offers all the major health insurance carriers, along with group life, dental, vision, and more. Give me, Jen Great, a call today to review your business and employee needs.
Your income is essential and irreplaceable, so protect it with disability income insurance. Get coverage that keeps you secure if life takes an unexpected turn. Disability income allows you to receive income even when you can't work, because your financial security shouldn't depend on your health. Give me, Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates, a call.
Don't just bank, be an explorer. Here at Explorers Credit Union, we do banking differently. As a not-for-profit, member-owned credit union, we know that financial wellness isn't a destination, it's a journey. We're here to help you set goals and reach them with the financial tools, expertise, and support you need. If you're looking for better rates on your loans and local service from your friends and neighbors, Explorers Credit Union has you covered. Learn how we can help your financial journey at explorerscu.com.
Don't wait for the snow and cold to get here. Now is the time to get your garage and shop doors repaired and serviced before the winter season. It's time to call the Garage Door Professionals. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We will service your door for less problems this winter. So if your garage or shop doors need replacing or just a tune-up, get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, thanks to Coach Blake Side for joining us here this morning on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach Chris Haynes joined us in the postgame last night. Of course, Coach Justin Olson and Braden Butler for talking Gazelles Gymnastics, and Coach Robert Coyle for sending me those Yankton wrestling notes. And that will do it here for the Coach's Corner here this morning. Thank you for listening and watching KYNT and KYNTV. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, and go enjoy the rest of your weekend.